What's up, everybody? Eric here with another EWE Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing Five Nights at Freddy's, the film. Before we get into that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know you want me to review in the comments down below. One quick thing before I get started with this one. This one's going to be a very polarizing review in my opinion. There's a lot of people that I know really love this film. They're big fans of the game, and I was sitting next to a bunch of them while I was at the theater watching this film. They were really into it. Wait, that tone, you can already tell. I wasn't that into it. I did not play this video game at all, so I really came in here completely not knowing anything, at a blank, just being like, you know what, we'll see how this goes. I went in with low expectations, and I will just say I left out still a little disappointed. But we'll talk about why in the rest of this video. Sorry I haven't been doing these. I haven't done a video in a while, like a couple days. I've been focusing on Spider-Man 2, the video game, and I actually want to get a review for that out sometime either this week or next. So I'm going to try and get some of these reviews out right now earlier in the week, then spend some time on the Spider-Man review, because that one's going to take a little bit longer. But yeah, this is Five Nights at Freddy's. This will be a spoiler-free review. The genre of this film is supernatural horror. It has a PG-13 rating. I know people were wondering if there was going to be a rated R version of this film. I think from right now I heard there isn't. And this movie came out on October 27, 2023. Interesting thing that I found out after the fact is this movie was not just in theaters, it was also day one on Peacock as well. So part of me afterwards was like, I should have just watched this on Peacock. Sorry if I'm being negative. I'm just like, I don't think this was I don't think I was the audience for this film, if I'm being perfectly honest. The budget of this film was $20 million. Now, as of October 30th, 2023, its box office is $132.7 million. So this movie is 100% going to get a sequel. It did really well. The people that liked it. So it's like, it's going to get that fanfare. It's going to get a sequel, which honestly cool for it. I'm happy for films like if they have an audience that really want this and it's doing well in the box office, I'm happy that's going to get a sequel for it. Am I going to watch a sequel? I don't know. If it's on Peacock, maybe. The director of this film is Emma Tammy. The cast includes Josh Hutcherson, Piper Rubio, Elizabeth Lail, Mary Stuart Matherson, and Matthew Lillard. The runtime of this film is 109 minutes, so it's not overly long. I thought it was like a tad bit too long, but that's because we'll talk about it in a second. And I watched this in Dolby format, and it does have a post-credit scene. The basic plot is a security guard starts his first night working at Freddy's Fazbear's Pizzeria, and he realizes this late night shift is going to be different. It's like a Chuck E. Cheese, basically, and he's going to be a security guard. The place has been closed down for years, decades, I think, and there's just a sentimental value of why this place is still being open. And we'll find out more about that during the film. Now, here's going to be my thoughts on the movie, and let's start off. I'm going to start off with the good. So there's a great cameo by a YouTube star that's like championed the game. So really happy that he was there. I mean, it was cool. He's like one of the people that's really been like outspoken, like one of the people I've always seen mention the game. So it's like cool. I'm glad one of their people that's like really into this was there. There are some cool visuals, like the comparisons, like when you see the restaurant where I'm like, oh, I can see like this is a mix of like what a Chuck E. Cheese and Pizza Hut would have been back in the day. Just because it gave me that Pizza Hut look to it, but with the animatronics, it reminded me of Chuck E. Cheese. So I was like, oh, this is a cool mix of like back in the 90s, what we had and things like that. So that was really cool. Even though the timeline set up like this would have been like 70s or 80s when the pizzeria closed down. That was another thing. I couldn't really figure out, and maybe I missed this, I couldn't figure out the year that this actually happened. So, and I don't think I even got the true location. That was really weird. I was kind of confused about some stuff in the movie, but it didn't really make that big of a difference. And I like that the movie didn't take place in modern day. I feel like something like this would have been ruined by cell phones. Kind of like if you were to go watch old Friends episodes and you watch Friends now and you'd be like, oh, if they had cell phones, that ruins a lot of the plots for these. All right. And you can tell like they were catering this movie to those that really like the game. And if I'm being honest, that's cool. I mean, I want people like get what they want out of this. Like, I saw people next to me like, oh, they're doing that, and they were even already talking about what they're hoping the sequel will be like. And you know what? Power to them. I'm happy that for people. Like, if that's what you really like, cool. So let's now move on to the bad. There were so many coincidences in this film, and I don't mean like in a movie there might be like one or two things where you're like, that's hard for me to believe that happened. Here it was happening all over the place. They even took like the merge, like the A and B plot, put them back together. There was even like, yeah, part of the B plot had like a little C element that was also basically taken out of it, like putting them all together. It was just like, this is a bit too much of how you're wrapping this up, and it didn't feel like they really put much thought into it. It was like, we just got to get from this point to that point. So I didn't really like that, but it's not the biggest deal, but it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, it kept beating in my head, and I can be like, oh, I can see why younger audiences wouldn't care, because that's not something that they're ever going to really pay attention to. So I can see kids really loving this movie. Another thing that I did not like, I came in hoping for a good amount of Matthew Lillard, and he's barely like in 5 minutes of the film, I want to say. Maybe more, but like very little. He's not in this film that much. And it's just like, to me, that was like the A guy I really wanted to see in this. And the movie, and this, I know this from the games as well, because I didn't play them, but I've heard so many things about them. It relies on jump scares instead of building tension well. I didn't feel like they really built the tension all that well, in my opinion. It was just like, cool, like, you're not really making me feel any fear or horror in this. And that actually goes now to another thing that it's a trope I hate in horror movies nowadays. They kill the bad guys are the ones mostly that end up getting like killed and stuff like that. It's not really the good guys, and it's just a trope that I'm not like, I don't know if this really works the way you guys think it's working. And this actually is going to bring me into like the movie that I most compare this to now after watching it. So like, if you've seen my Megan review, I even talked about that they made the problem of like Megan actually hurting bad people that were hurting the girl. Well, in this movie, it was very similar, where like there's a child and then the villains thing like protect her, and it's just like, but they end up hurting bad people, and it's just like, I don't know if you're making me really feel fear or anything like that. You're making me go like, oh, this bad guy's not too bad. It's like, okay. And I don't think that's a good trope to go with in modern day now, because I feel like if they're trying to do like this modern slasher idea, like, or horror, it's like, I have to feel like the bad guy is a bad guy. If they're still doing some redeemable stuff, like, you're kind of losing right there. This person needs to be irredeemable, but they really want to make him redeemable. And like, for me, it just doesn't work for horror. It's not the best way, in my opinion, of going about doing it. And even then, like me talking about the movie Megan, I actually thought a lot of parallels between this and Megan exist. And I actually thought Megan did it way better. If I remember correctly, I gave Megan a 7 out of 10. I can tell you right now, I didn't give this movie a 7 out of 10. So that's really something that's like, when you're starting to compare these horror films, because horror, I think, is like easier to tell what's good, what's more original, how does it work. This just didn't land it for me. And it just felt like I kept going with it, trying to see, okay, are you going to do something that's unique to horror or anything like that for a film? And I'm just realizing it's not. Maybe it's different for a video game. Again, I didn't play the game, so I'm just going off the movie, and to me, the movie just, it didn't do anything special that I was just like, cool, like, I've never seen this before. It was just like, okay, you guys are doing the safe route with stuff. I don't really get where this is, like, what's the point of all this? I kind of regret going to watch it in theaters. I kind of should just watch it in streaming, but I didn't know it was going to be day and day. So let's actually move on to my score, guys. And unfortunately, I'm just going to give this a 5 out of 10 for mediocre. I didn't see anything special in this film. Like I said, I just thought of Megan, and I was like, no, Megan's significantly better than this. And if you weren't a fan of the games, I don't really know what was a positive that people were taking out of this film, because I was just like, this is very safe route, vanilla. Yeah, it has a start, middle, and end, and it kind of worked, but it's just so many like weird things of like, why are you putting those things together? Why is that there? That I was just like, this isn't good. Now, on the same spectrum, I couldn't give it a 4 because I was at least saying what I consider a 4. This at least felt like there was thought put into it. So I was just like, okay, it's just not good thought. So, and then someone that's a very big gamer, I'm just like, damn it, I wanted a video game movie to do really well, but this, to me, just as a story, it just didn't work. It's like, it is what it is. But yeah, guys, that's my review for Five Nights at Freddy's. Please let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought. Now, my next review is going to be twofold. I want to do the South Park joining the Pandaverse, but I want to do a spoiler-free version of it and a spoiler version since it's technically a movie. I'll have that out soon. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments down below what you thought. Am I being too harsh? Am I just someone that's just like, I just didn't get it? That could be. I don't think I was a target audience for this. So let me know in the comments down below how you guys felt. Talk to you later. Bye.